Okay, I got a great video here for you on the typical things you come across on a Mastertemp heater repair. What I got here originally was a bad membrane and CPU, which I replaced. You couldn't read anything on it. After replacing that, I was noticing it was reading different temperatures than the pool was. So then I replaced the Thermistor here. It's reading proper temperatures, however, it was still shutting off prematurely. And when it did, it gave me the AGS warning, which is your automatic gas shut off over here. So after swapping that out, after replacing that, it still wouldn't go above 91 degrees, but it didn't give me the warning signal anymore, giving me an AGS warning underneath the lid here. You can see the sensors that are lit up. So after replacing the AGS over here, which is this, the warning light went away. However, it's still shutting off at 91 degrees, though I wanted it to go to 104. So the other things that can be going on at that point would be like your thermistor, your thermal regulator here was bad. Pretty much everything on this heater needed to be replaced. Let me show you about. All right, I'm going to swap out this keypad display here, which is malfunctioning. It's not really reading anything, and I suspect it's because of the crack here, which I'm going to put some epoxy on, and we'll see how that goes. So in order to replace this keypad here, we have to take off the front and the rear panels here so that we can get underneath here and undo the wing nuts inside and turn over the board, or turn over the lid to the heater. And at that time, I'm going to go ahead and epoxy this crack up and fix it, which hopefully that'll end any ability for it to further damage the new one. Okay, so the first thing you do is make sure that there's no power going to the unit and that it's not going to come on while you're working on it. Then then you're going to unscrew the 4 bolts on each side. I highly recommend having a magnetic cup here to keep all your stuff in. So after you've put you'll lose them, trust me. You waste a lot of time. Anyways, so just put your panels aside, get inside here. You're gonna see, hopefully you'll be able to see, yeah, right here is where the wing nuts go on. And then after you remove your wing nuts, you'll be able to just simply just flip the lid over so you can work on it. Right here is the ribbon cable. That'd be this part. So, and since I'm by myself, it's gonna be hard for me to really video all this. Anyways, I'm gonna do what I can just to note it. And then here is where I'm gonna put some epoxy right there. All right, so I just patched that crack up with a little of this Gorilla epoxy stick on the bottom side here because it's gonna be so ugly. On the top side, I'm gonna add a little silicone. Now we're gonna flip it over and put the sticker on that keypad. So to do that, you just slide in a screwdriver and remove the old sticker. Pull it up. And then we're going to pull the ribbon cable through after we flip it over and put in the new one. Really, what we're doing is we're going to also, in addition to replacing this display, we're going to replace the entire CPU with this one here, the new one. I imagine this is malfunctioning as well. They were getting mixed up readings. So if all you wanted to do at this point was replace your keypad, then all you do is remove this ribbon cable here, and you'll be pulling it from the front side and removing the sticker and sticking it back on there, which I'll show you later. All right, after removing these 4 screws from the corners and removing all of the connections, we're ready to pull off the display. I'm sorry, the CPU. All right, after positioning the new one on here and just putting the bolts in, you make sure that it lines up with the ribbon cable so you know to go the right way with it. And I'm just going to tighten these down and then plug in all the cables. Okay, new keypad ribbon cable attached. All other plugs are in, nice and secure. We'll flip it back over. And now we just have to take off the sticky part here on the back. Just turned everything on. See how it fires up. Yep, gas open. Now with this new display in, it's showing me kind of haywire temperatures. So it's reading, see, it's going up kind of all over the place. I think the temperature sensor on this heater is bad. Temperatures reading 57. Alright, well, I found out why temperature's all over the place. Look at that. Alright, so I'm going to put in this new Thermistor right now. And while I screw that in, so if you see all that corrosion there, that's going to be a result of really bad pH alkalinity readings. So I'll be checking that out after I get done screwing this in, plugging it in, and then checking it out. I got the new Thermistor in, and it's now reading a good solid 72 thereabout. That's okay, low fluctuation. So there's the new Thermistor. Here's the old Thermistor. So, after replacing the CPU and the keypad display, and getting the heater going, so that worked, I then realized that I needed to replace the Thermistor as well. It was giving me really crazy readings because we got really bad corrosion here on this probe, or it's deposits, corrosions, not exactly sure yet. But then I noticed that they don't have a check valve after the salt cell there. So when the unit shuts off, the corrosion that's generated when the salt cell is working just flows right back into the heater and corrodes everything. So that's what did that. And I imagine the heat exchanger inside there also looks really bad. So, but today I also noticed they got, we need to clean their salt cell. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean the salt cell right now. I'm gonna come back and fix that, put on the check valve in there another day. So here's how I clean the check valve. I have a nice little union with a cap. And I just simply screw it on here. Put it on nice and tight. Put it somewhere where it's not going to fall over. See, test that out. All right, not gonna fall over. I got a 50-50 mix here, acid and water, muriatic acid and water. And so you want to mix that acid and water before you actually pour it in the cell. You want straight muriatic acid going in there, it'll damage the cell. So we're gonna let that bubble up. We're gonna bring the hose over here so we can get ready to hose that down. Got the check valve here that I just installed. This is an anti-corrosive check valve. So after replacing the CPU on this, which was needed because there was no display, and replacing the thermistor, which was not working right, reading proper temperature, it's now giving me error. It gave me the error code AGS, which stands for automatic gas shutoff. Which could be a couple of problems. It could be your AGS switch, which is right here, or possibly high limit, but also the bypass valve inside there. If it's that's really bad. But in this case, I did notice from the thermal regulator that goes in this hole, it was all corroded. So you simply remove the pin off of the spring that this is attached to. I got my new one here. This is the kit, or not even really kit, just the part I put on the old spring. And then you just simply put it back in. And put your cap back on. Yep, so that's pretty much everything in here. Now we got a temperature of 103. So I've confirmed this heater is now fixed. And that'll be the end of that.